Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. I know so many of you over on TikTok have been blowing up the comments asking for this, so today we're finally doing some customer reviews analysis for it. But before we dive into that, be sure to check out this exclusive discount available for it. You'll find it in the description and in the first comment under this video. Now, let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Let's start with our first reviewer's experience.
This reviewer embarked on a quest to improve their home Wi-Fi network in a challenging environment, a two-story apartment with solid concrete walls. Our reviewer's initial struggles involved achieving decent internet speeds on the lower level, despite trying various solutions including different routers, extenders, and power line adapters. These attempts yielded frustratingly low download speeds, a fraction of their available internet bandwidth. This client even resorted to running an Ethernet cable between floors to maintain acceptable wired connectivity. The experience with this particular mesh Wi-Fi system began with a straightforward setup process, taking only a short time. Our reviewer appreciated the ability to manage the Wi-Fi bands separately, allowing for granular control over device connectivity. Accessing the router's settings through both the accompanying app and a web interface proved to be seamless. However, the need for a separate node to fully utilize the second 5G band was noted as a minor inconvenience. Performance on the upper level was impressive, providing strong and consistent signals across both 2G and 5G bands. Download speeds reached their maximum potential. This client experienced no dropouts or slowdowns in this area. The lower level, however, presented a different story. The signal penetration through the concrete proved to be a significant obstacle, resulting in drastically reduced 5G speeds. Although 2G speeds were somewhat better, they were still insufficient. Further testing involved incorporating this router into a power line setup, relocating it to the lower level to improve coverage there. While this approach did improve lower-level performance, the wired and wireless speeds, while acceptable, were still not optimal. More importantly, placing the router downstairs eliminated satisfactory coverage on the upper level, thus negating the benefit of the mesh system's intended functionality. Ultimately, this client returned the mesh Wi-Fi system. While praising its ease of setup, affordable price, and excellent performance in a single-level, obstruction-free environment, this client felt the product's limitations were a deal-breaker for their unique situation. The inability to penetrate the thick concrete walls, despite trying various configurations, underscored the primary reason for returning the item. While the concrete walls were recognized as the root cause of the signal issue, the product's inability to overcome this obstacle proved unsatisfactory. In conclusion, this client recommends this mesh Wi-Fi system for homes with less challenging environments, but warns potential buyers in similar situations to consider the concrete wall penetration limitations before purchasing.
Great! Now let's see what our next reviewer has to say about their experience.
This reviewer found that this mesh Wi-Fi router fell short of expectations in terms of coverage for their approximately 1950 square foot home. Despite the home's lath and plaster construction potentially impacting signal strength, our reviewer felt the coverage area was insufficient. To compensate for the inadequate range, this client cleverly utilized an older router in bridge mode, leveraging the 5 GHz band to extend the network's reach to areas the new router couldn't penetrate. This solution, while effective, necessitated using a different router from the same manufacturer, thus sacrificing the use of one frequency band for inter-router communication. The setup process, while ultimately successful, presented some challenges. This client noted that the accompanying mobile application, although functional, included several slow and cumbersome steps. These delays, sometimes lasting a considerable time, occasionally led this client to believe the app had frozen. The necessity of creating a Linksys web account prior to router setup added another layer to the initial configuration. Our reviewer strongly emphasizes the importance of meticulous record keeping. They recommend writing down the web account ID and password, the router's administrative login credentials, and the recovery number. The emphasis on strong, complex passwords with a mix of uppercase and lowercase letters, numbers, and special characters cannot be overstated. This client found the user interface once logged in via the app or web browser to be fairly intuitive and user-friendly for general settings. Although more technical options were available, this client suggests that highly technical users might find the level of control somewhat limited. Interestingly, this client continued to operate additional mesh networking equipment from a different manufacturer, along with the bridged router. While acknowledging the redundancy created by this setup, this client chose to maintain the existing configurations, citing no noticeable negative impact. This client does suggest that it may experiment in the future, but has not made any significant changes at this time. In summary, this client assesses the router's functionality as pretty good, considering the purchase price, and also found the setup, while somewhat cumbersome, ultimately satisfactory. Our reviewer opted not to explore the router's mesh capabilities beyond the described solution, as their existing equipment met their needs and allowed their needs to be met without further testing.
Great! Now let's see what our next reviewer has to say about their experience.
This reviewer acquired this mesh Wi-Fi system, consisting of a router and a mesh extender, and immediately experienced its ease of use. Our reviewer reports a remarkably swift setup process, taking only about 20 minutes to update the firmware, download the accompanying mobile application, and establish a fully functional mesh network. This was a significant improvement over a much older, less reliable system that our reviewer had been using for a decade. This client's previous setup, which had consistently underperformed, was replaced effortlessly by this new system. The impressive performance extends beyond simple setup. This client's home and shop are separated by a considerable distance, with multiple servers connected via Ethernet to the router in the shop. Despite this challenging configuration, this client consistently achieves excellent speeds on the 5 GHz band, exceeding 90 Mbps even in the house, which is served by the mesh extender. This is particularly noteworthy considering the client's location within a densely wooded area with numerous neighboring Wi-Fi networks, indicating that the interference mitigation features of this mesh system are highly effective. This reviewer's experience demonstrates the capabilities of this system. They operate numerous devices simultaneously, several Wi-Fi connected devices in addition to 3 wired servers, without encountering any lag or buffering issues, even while streaming high-definition video across the entire network. This client is pushing the system beyond its advertised capabilities, yet is thoroughly impressed with its performance and stability. The associated mobile application is praised for its intuitive design and reliable functionality. Although the mesh extender's status light indicates a relatively weak signal, this client confirms that the extender functions flawlessly. The overall speed and reliability of this mesh Wi-Fi system have exceeded expectations to such a degree that our reviewer is now contemplating the implementation of a smart home system, a prospect previously considered unrealistic. Finally, this client has not required technical support, suggesting the product is user-friendly and robust. If this video helped you out, give it a like and hit subscribe for more. Got thoughts? Drop them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.